last till the end. The love of Christ in which we stand.
Scripture says he stands before God's throne day and night accusing us. But he doesn't just stand before God's throne doing that. He stands right here and whispers in our head. I think the most dangerous place for us to live is between our ears, because the enemy just speaks those lies and retells those true things that we experienced. But he tells them as if that is our identity.
But in the Bible, when it says we hope in God, it means it's a confident expectation of the results that he promised. It's a confident expectation. So hope is like, I heard somebody describe it this way. It's like kids waking up on Christmas. And when they know that they have presents waiting for them underneath the tree, they go dancing down the hallway in absolute joy because they just know with confident expectation that their loving parents have given them presents overnight, or Santa Claus, depending on their age and what your beliefs are, right? So I know that when I look at hope in the Bible, I'm always shocked at how God calls us to hope, and that hope never disappoints. When we hope in him, he doesn't disappoint. So I was brought back.
We let each other down. And in the midst of our whole mixing bowl of life, we just throw Jesus in the mixing bowl. And he's like, I'm not in the mixing bowl. I know. He's like, no, you don't know. I need you to do a word study. So he had me study plans. He had me look up the definition. And lo and behold, you can't tell me I didn't have church, because I did. Because let me now reread Jeremiah 29:11. Now that I've actually taken the word plans and looked at it in its noun and adjective form, this is what it sounds like. For I planned in advance for you, declares the Lord, a strategy to prosper you and not hurt, wound, mistreat, or misuse you. Arrangements and schedules to give you hope, aspiration, desire, dreams, longings, and a future. And then he even showed me future means destined, intended, planned. Do you understand that that's current tense? That's present tense.
No matter what you're facing, because God is doing something greater than what you can see. And James points us to God is developing our character. God is working something in us that's greater than what we can understand or comprehend. And you know, something that I've had to come to grips with is my plans for my life and God's plans for my life are often very, very different. My plans are often this agenda of where I want to be, how much money I want in the bank, the number of people I want to teach, help, do this, the position at work. But God's goals for my life are about my character. How loving am I? How kind am I? How patient am I? How do I treat other people? What am I doing for his kingdom? And God takes
Our constant comfort, our hope secure. Though the answer's not always sure, our God is faithful, our God is good.
Do not give up. Because in the midst of our suffering, in the midst of our tribulations, in the midst of our struggles, he will never leave us nor forsake us. But today, I want us to really focus on one other area. Therefore, be self-controlled, be sober-minded for the sake of your prayers. What did he say? Be sober-minded for the sake of your prayers. Why are we to be sober-minded? Our minds cannot be divided if we need to come to Christ so that he can hear us. Our mind cannot be set on things that would not be trustworthy of the calling that God has called us to.
Of Israel and the Israelites, they were stiff-necked people. Stiff-necked means that you are stubborn, you are set in your ways, you won't change, right? You're rebellious, you're doing your own thing, and yet every time God reached out for them, God says, I'm reaching out to you through this to bring you back to me. This time of COVID, we got to get it, y'all. We got to get it. Every church, every person, every nationality is being affected by the exact same thing. You can't believe that that's anything else other than God. God getting our attention. God saying that business as usual is unacceptable. God saying, I want you to look to me. The reason why God got angry with Israel is because Israel, even though God permitted all these things to happen, still refused to turn back to him. So he's saying, what else do I have to do to get your attention? As believers, if we're